Hello, Charlottesville. Hope you're doing well. This is Judah with the I Love Seville show. Um, I hope everybody's almost ready for the holiday. It's getting close. We're just a few days away from the weekend, and then on Monday is Christmas Day. Um, I know I've got a few more things I'd like to shop for. I'm sure there are some of you out there who are the same. I think I've done pretty well in not leaving everything to the very last minute. This is very unlike me. But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that from the Peanut Gallery.
That is funny.
I
I would say you're a bit of a procrastinator.
oh yeah.
I've known you for 13 plus years, maybe 14 years.
Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow?
That is not
that's how it goes, right?
that's not good. And that's why Judah has me in his life right there. For the proverbial boot in the butt. Why do today what you can put off for tomorrow?
Until tomorrow.
That's not good.
If it didn't need to be done today,
The early bird gets the worm, Judah. The early bird gets the worm.
I don't like worms.
Procrastination is not a good quality. So you have your Christmas shopping done.
Yeah, most of it.
What are the most famous quotes about procrastination? Procrastination is opportunity's natural assassin. That's a good one. We'll rock and roll with the show. We'll start with this topic here. I think this is a great way to launch the program. We'll also talk about what are some other topics we'll cover today on the program, Judah.
We're going to talk about predictions for next year. Bullish. Why are we bullish? Why are we bearish on 2024?
In Charlottesville, are you bullish or bearish?
I mean, I got to be bullish because I want the best for Charlottesville. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that next year is going to be rosy. I think
next year is going to...
Charlottesville needs a lot of work, and I think overall that work has been taking its sweet time since we're on the subject of procrastination.
Okay. That's a perfect leadway. We'll start with procrastination and how it potentially applies to Charlottesville then. How's that? That's a good little segue.
Sounds good.
We'll rock and roll when you're ready, my friend.
Quiet on the set.
Welcome to the I Love Seville show, guys. My name is Jerry Miller. It's a Thursday afternoon in Charlottesville, Virginia. We're in downtown Charlottesville in the Macklin Building. Thank you kindly for joining us. Just a few days removed from one of my favorite holiday, Christmas. Second to last show of 2024 for the I Love Seville show. We're on air tomorrow. Real Talk with Keith Smith on air tomorrow as well. The scuttlebutt around the North Pole has Kris Kringle, Buddy the Elf, and Frosty the Snowman, replacing Keith, yours truly, and the jack of all trades on Real Talk with Keith Smith in the morning. However, Judah's going to flex his muscles and bully Frosty the Snowman, Kris Kringle, and Buddy the Elf offset so we can conclude the year, Judah and I, on the I Love Seville show tomorrow. A lot we want to cover on the program with only two episodes of the I Love Seville show left in 2023. I'm going to weave the jack of all trades, the metronome of the talk show, a man who is openly, readily admitting to our fine and fair talk show viewership and listenership. What was the saying you led with there, Judah?
Why do today what you can put off until tomorrow?
I would say, one of the most frustrating things in this work dynamic is that right there, at least from my side of the coin. Judah has many reasons to be frustrated with me. I have much less and very few reasons to be frustrated with you. I sincerely mean that. I know I'm difficult, high-strung, have high and unreasonable expectations, want to move at the speed of lightning and everything that we do, expect results even if it's the first time we're doing something. I understand.
It has to be done now.
It has to be done now. My mindset of it has to be done now versus your mindset of, what was it again?
You want the whole thing?
Please,
Why?
please.
Why do today what you can put off until tomorrow? Sometimes
Eventually,
things don't need to be done.
Why do today what you can put off until tomorrow? Judah's mindset, the antithesis of small business and entrepreneurship moving forward in the right direction. Procrastination is opportunity's natural assassin. That's one saying I'm seeing online. Procrastination is the art of keeping up with yesterday and avoiding today. It's another I'm seeing online. Procrastination has been called a thief of time. Often greater risk is involved in postponement than in making a wrong decision. I 1,000% agree with that. I'm going to reiterate that one right there. Often greater risk is involved in postponement than in making the wrong decision. I would rather fail and do it wrong than not do it at all.
That's not a quantifiable statement, though.
What do you mean?
The statement is often.
What's the words? You're nitpicking.
No, I'm being honest. It may be true, but that doesn't mean that you can't have just as many problems making a decision that turns out to be the wrong one than in waiting to find out more information.
And putting off what one has to do, one runs the risk of never being able to do it. You know, one of the qualities that I least like in humans? Paralysis of analysis. Paralysis of analysis, I hate that quality. You know, another quality I really dislike? Perfection. The art or the pursuit of perfection. Perfection is the enemy of productivity and profitability. We move, we try it, we figure it out. If we fail, we get up, we do it again. What we will never do is nothing. You and I've said on this program, from a professional standpoint, complement each other very, very well. Once the 45 hours, 50 hours of work is done for the week, I think you enjoy time without hearing from me. I enjoy time from not hearing from you, right? But for 50 hours of work every week for roughly 13 years, the team led by us have, how would you characterize? Persevered.
Muddled through.
This is how we answer this question, I think would be a microcosm of our personalities as well. I say, what's up, Brian? I say persevered. You say?
I said muddled through.
Okay. I say pushed forward. You say?
Slogged.
I said overcome adversity. You say?
Tried to avoid creating too much adversity.
I said had boatloads of success. You said?
I mean, do you really want me to
I think
counter?
I mean, you were going to do it naturally.
I don't necessarily.
You're very much the devil's advocate. You're the, how do you call it? What do you call it? The contrarian.
Sometimes.
You are the contrarian.
Often.
Often is quantifiable.
But
that's what you just said?
But having a different opinion isn't always contrarian.
Oh, fair. And having a different opinion when you're a small team is welcomed and appreciated. And certainly in a talk show setting like this.
Yeah.
So props to you. Not throwing shade, props to you.
Thank you.
The procrastination is a perfect segue into perhaps a topic du jour on Charlottesville. Charlottesville spent 7 years on a zoning code.
Yeah.
Charlottesville procrastination, Belmont Bridge. The Belmont Bridge project has legitimately been in the works since I got here in 2020. 23 years, the Belmont Bridge.
You mean 2002?
Oh, you're right, thank you. 2000. I've been here 23 years. Since gosh, it's so long. It's so long.
I remember the far side of the bridge has been blocked off for years and years. It just had, metal up so people couldn't walk on that side. It was the oddest thing. I always wondered what they were like. Is it crumbling? Is somebody going to fall off the edge or something?
Viewers and listeners, what else has Charlottesville procrastinated on? Belmont Bridge, zoning code, procrastination on diversity of political thought. I'm not even sure that would be procrastination. I think that would be choice. Procrastination on, where else do you want to go with this?
Everything. I mean,
everything. Wow.
Not everything, but seriously, anyone trying to build something in Charlottesville gets the city's classic procrastination. That's what ran my dad's company out of business. That's what,
have you told that story on the I Love Seville show? I think you've mentioned it on Real Talk with Keith Smith. It's worth a snapshot, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have
not one of those long ones, Judah.
I don't have all the details.
Okay.
There's not a lot of long to tell. It's basically my dad and his partner had a construction home building company, and they basically went out of business because I think it's the planning commission wouldn't release their bonds, and they finally just decided to
I don't think it's
pack
the
it in.
planning commission.
What's that?
I don't think it's the planning commission. You could just say Charlottesville City Hall.
I think I may have a note somewhere. But anyways, yeah. So they shut the business down. And who else have we had have issues with? I mean, we've got the eyesore on the downtown mall. I don't know if that's necessarily due to procrastination.
The iStore? Oh, the Dewberry.
landmark. Yeah.
I'd say Dewberry is, I wouldn't call it procrastination. I would call it a negotiation tactic.
Yeah.
I mean, the city can't do anything about it. They can't eminent domain the Dewberry Hotel. And Johnny Dewberry, the extorting emperor of empty lots, the Waynesboro native, the former quarterback of the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech, a man now based out of Georgia, his strategy is to leave his plots of land in the cusp of blight, on the brink of blight, but pays his taxes and hopes he gets a tax incentivized package thrown his way to make momentum with what he owns in various jurisdictions.
Yeah.
Some would say it's clever. Others would say it's crappy. He doesn't live here. He doesn't care.
Right.
What does he care if the I Love Seville talk show host talks about him in this manner? He doesn't care.
Yeah.
In fact, some folks probably welcome it and embrace it and use it to fuel their fire. What are you looking for? You're looking for what happened to your dad's business?
Yeah, I made a note, I think, of who it was, what
You've highlighted in the past.
department.
He partnered with, I remember, if I'm able to offer what I remember, can I? Do I have your approval?
Sure.
He partnered with Bo Dickerson, a developer. They look to develop in the city of Charlottesville. They ran into resistance and friction with City Hall, and they had bonds that were not released.
Which is, I mean, you know how a business is run. You owe people money. When you're a builder, you
Builder developer, not just a builder developer.
yeah, the city has your money, and they're supposed to release it in a timely manner so that you can pay the things that you need to pay, and if they don't, then your money stays locked up, and you're essentially left out in the cold. What do you do if you don't have any money?
Let us know.
What if you do if you can't pay your creditors, or what do you do if you can't pay for wood?
You close down.
Nails, yeah.
You close down. Let us know when you have that lower third, or when you have that message that you can relay on air, and if you can put on screen the predictions for 2024 in the Charlottesville area lower third.
Charlottesville neighborhood development.
You have what you want to read?
Charlottesville neighborhood development, I believe, is the
so NDS.
They are in charge of releasing bonds.
Okay, so what happened?
They didn't release bonds.
So they closed her down.
Yeah, they kept going and petitioning to have bonds released so that they could pay their bills, and it just didn't happen.
Ginger Who watching on Twitter, she says, Jerry wants it done yesterday. Judah is waiting until tomorrow. And Charlottesville sure moves quickly enough when they want a monument gone. Ginny Who, if you can put her photo on screen, one of the key contributors of the family. We got the rankings that we love to highlight. Ginny Who, who's come on the program in the past, and more of you will be welcome and invited on the program in 2024, is number 4 in the power rankings. Bill McChesney watching the program. Bill McChesney, another key contributor. McChesney is 15 in the power rankings. He said, I thought you were taking off today. We took off yesterday. I had a business meeting over lunch yesterday at Monsoon. I had the drunken noodles with beef, spiced medium. And I'm going to tell you right now, Monsoon is sensational. A fantastic dining experience if you like Thai food. Monsoon on Market Street, locally owned, just fantastic food. We are in the saddle today and tomorrow. We're off all next week for the viewers and listeners. He highlights the dewberry as the definition of procrastination. Dewberry is a perfect example of procrastination. John Blair watching on LinkedIn. John Blair's number 2 in the family. We get John Blair's photo on screen. I'd say this is my favorite photo of any one of the power rankings. Scott Aaronworth is watching the program. I believe Scott is somewhere is it Mexico? Scott, you are watching the program in Mexico on vacation? I believe you are.
Nice.
Why are you, as you rotate the lower third, to bullish in 2024 for the Charlottesville area? For those that are not of the finance lexicon, I don't think bullish is finance lexicon. I think that's fairly common vocabulary. But bullish, why we're positive for 2024 in the Charlottesville area. We'll also give the other side. Not just glasses half full. We'll start with glasses half full because while I do think Judah is a bit of a contrarian, I truly believe he is a positive outlooked individual. So you certainly know I am. So we'll start with the positive side of things. Why are you positive for this community in 2024?
I think we've started some things. I mean, we mentioned the bridge earlier. The bridge might be getting finished sometime in the near future. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and they'll keep working on it for the next 2 or 3 years. But aside from that, there's, I don't know. I see some moves being made. We've got the Verve coming. We've got.
Gosh, you can't believe you use the Verve as a positive. But go ahead.
I mean, we need housing. And so I'm just happy that moves are being made, whether you like them or not. I think that's a good thing, and Charlottesville needs to make some moves. We've got some clear issues from the price of housing to we've talked about the need for a change in infrastructure. And I think as long as we keep moving forward, we're in a decent place.
Maybe the same reasons you're positive I can use as some of the same reasons I'm potentially bearish.
Yeah.
You bring all this housing online, and I'm all for housing. I don't want anyone to paint me as a NIMBY. But where's the infrastructure to support it.
We've got to move on that, and hopefully we'll start doing that.
Don't
But
you normally
can't-
put the infrastructure before the housing and not the housing before the infrastructure?
Are you pro procrastination right
Infrastructure is not pro-procrastination. It's still getting work done.
No, but you're saying
Improve the
don't-
roads, improve the school bus transportation, the bike lanes, the pedestrian lanes. Let's get the police department full.
I
Let's
get
get the
it.
fire department full. Let's get the EMTs full.
I get it, and I'm with you there. But
Why don't we do that?
You're basically saying we
No.
shouldn't. Yes, you are
No.
basically saying
No.
I don't want to see new housing.
That's not what I'm saying.
Until we fix the infrastructure problem.
If you do the infrastructure, that's not procrastination. That's still executing and performing. You're
agree.
improving the roads, you're improving the water, you're improving the police, the fire, the rescue, the bicycle, the pedestrian. You're alleviating traffic throttle and congestion. You're going to put
I don't disagree.
You're
with
going to
any
put
of that.
thousands of people next to Foods of All Nations and Moe's on Ivy Road at the same time St. Anne's Belfield Academy has start to school and end to school, and the same time that rush hour is happening and traffic is already snarled there. You think that's going to work out well?
Well, then let's start working on that infrastructure.
That's my point. That's not procrastination. That's performance.
Okay, I don't fault you for that. I agree. Let's get to work on the infrastructure so that when those new buildings eventually go up, and we both know it's not going to be next year or probably even the year after.
Kevin Yancey watching the program. Let's get his photo on screen.
There's time to get the infrastructure in place for those, isn't there?
Kevin Yancey's number 11 in the power polls. He said we could have saved millions just by making it a railroad crossing. I've highlighted on the program the pipe dream, the romantic vision, the romantic notion of a gondola system in Central Virginia. I realize that is not as close to reality as potentially improving public transit. Public transportation. Public transit right now is, I'm not trying to throw shade, I'm being realistic.
Have you used it?
What's that?
Have you used it?
Have you used it?
No.
I have used it. You know what? We should take the I Love Seville show on the road. Judah and Jerry take Kat from Market Street to Pantops to Barracks Road to the corner and back to the studio. Obviously, we're not going to have this ridiculously awesome studio. We're going to have to Facebook Live with the tripod in hand and us getting on the bus, be like this. This is Jerry and Judah. We're on Market Street. We're getting on the bus. Judah, how you feel right now? And what you would feel? Oh my gosh, they have a ramp that's going to get us on the bus over here, and you can put your bicycles in front of the bus. This is pretty spacious. When's the last time you've been on a bus?
It's been probably decades.
See, you're about to throw shade at me about public transportation, and I've ridden it faster and more often than you have. More recently than you have.
No, I wasn't giving you shade.
When's the last time you've been on the trolley?
Have you ever been on a bus in Los Angeles?
I live in Charlottesville.
I know.
Asking me if I've been on a bus in Los Angeles, how's that pertinent to this conversation?
Sorry.
I have not. I have not been on a bus in Los Angeles. Do you have a story to tell us about being on a bus in Los Angeles?
No. Not right now.
Jim Hinchley watching the program. He says, I'm very positive about the combined General District Courts project where construction is well underway. Unlikely to be finished in 2024, but early 2025 is a good target date. The project says a lot that is positive about city-county cooperation for the good of the public and the court users. I echo that.
Good to hear.
I echo that, Jim Hinchley. I am and have been a huge proponent of keeping the courts downtown. I am and have been a huge proponent of keeping Albemarle and Charlottesville court systems next to each other because folks get confused.
Yeah.
And when someone goes to one court and the other court for Albemarle County or Charlottesville is located miles, if not 10, 15, 20 minutes away, they're going to miss an appearance.
I mean, people already get confused.
People get confused and they're next door.
Yeah.
Imagine if one was in the county and one was in the city.
Right. Imagine if you're going to a serious court case and you go to the wrong one.
Bingo. Take it a step further. Imagine if you're an attorney and you're representing clients on the same day in Albemarle court and in Charlottesville court, because that happens. You see Scotty Goodman representing people in Charlottesville City. He's a defense attorney. Scott Goodman, a legend in the defense attorney world in general. He does Charlottesville cases and county cases all the time. Yeah. I also think it would have been moving the courts from Charlottesville City, Albemarle, out of here would have been a economic headwind for downtown Charlottesville. And I'm not sure there's many more economic headwinds downtown Charlottesville can suffer or face. Are you bullish or bearish on downtown Charlottesville for 2024? And don't hold back. Scott Aaronworth is on a beach in Mexico. I hope you're enjoying that, Scotty Aaronworth. He's a defense attorney as well.
I think with the information I have, I'm bullish. There's, I think with, we're seeing some places pop up. We're seeing, I'd like to see some places reopen up. And the capper for the end of next year is that I believe there is leadership for First Night Virginia is in place.
Judah Wickhauer is about to break some more news on First Night Virginia. I want to offer a perspective on this. And are our audio levels at the levels that we talked about?
Yeah, yours are low.
Okay, fantastic. I'm a bit boisterous. Or you are a bit, how would you characterize it?
Even keeled.
Okay. I was gonna say even keeled. 100% I was gonna say even keeled. I'm a bit boisterous and you're a bit even keeled. That's what I was gonna say as well. Judah Wickhauer broke the news on the I Love Seville show that First Night Virginia would be canceled in 2022.
Yeah.
Judah Wickhauer broke the news on the I Love Seville show that First Night Virginia would be canceled in 2023. Now Judah Wickhauer is about to break some more news for First Night Virginia 2024. Judah, the show is yours.
I mean, I think I mentioned this when we were talking about it being canceled for 2023, that as I had heard it, there is somebody that's taking over. They just weren't going to be taking over for 23, for this year. So unless we had somebody to come in and,
Can you say who it is that's taken over?
I don't have any names.
But you have someone on the board of directors.
I know that you can also go to the website and it's been updated.
First, I'm going right now. This is the first time hearing this. I'm glad this came up in our pre-production meeting. First Night Virginia, Charlottesville. The URL is firstnightva.org. It says see you New Year's 2025. Is New Year's 2025?
I think that would be next year, because next year Next year we'd have New Year's Eve of 2024.
So you're saying this New Year's is New Year's 2024, or is this New Year's 2023?
I mean, it says here we will be back. We will be back in 2024 with new leadership and a new focus to revive the second oldest First Night Virginia.
Where does it say that?
On the first page, there's a paragraph. With heavy hearts, we have made the difficult decision to cancel First Night Virginia this year due to the impact of the last 3 years of COVID and the aftermath on our resources and support. We will be back in 2024 with new leadership and a new focus to revive the second oldest First Night Virginia as a family-friendly, alcohol-free celebration of the arts to bring in the new year around the downtown mall.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
An alcohol-free, family-friendly, positive event in downtown Charlottesville. That's what downtown needs.
Yep.
Downtown needs families to feel welcome again to downtown Charlottesville. Kevin Yancey says he's bearish for 2024.
I don't think that surprises me.
Kevin Yancey is a bit of a bear, and we mean that in the most loving way possible. Why are you bearish for 2024, Kevin Yancey? Please let us know. I would sincerely like to get your update on this. James Watson watching the program, Vanessa Parkhill watching the program, Carol Thorpe watching the program. If you could put James Watson's photos on screen, he's number 5 in the power poll. Vanessa Parkhill's on screen, she's number 6 in the power poll. And Carol Thorpe, number 9 in the power poll. What's the matter? Was that caught on screen, your mic falling off right there?
Probably a split second of it. We got James Watson on screen right now.
Can you please get the mic tightened up? Executive director and producer of the program. I'm looking at it wasn't on screen. The James Watson photo came on right before the mic fell off your mic stand.
Yeah.
Vanessa Parkhill and Carol Thorpe, much of the top 10 watching the show right now. Why, Kevin, are you bearish? I'll say this. 2023 was a very challenging year for Main Street Charlottesville. And Main Street Charlottesville, I mean as in the general term. I don't mean actually Main Street. I mean small business, locally owned business in this community.
Yeah.
They got hit hard with labor shortages. They got hit hard with escalating cost of goods. They got hit hard with credit crunch and the opportunity to get money from banks pretty much evaporating.
Yeah.
They got hit hard with a customer base or consumer base getting hit with the same headwinds that we've all been hit. Oh, Ginny Who saw the mic drop. She saw the mic drop right there.
It was a split second of it.
We're working on that, literally, as we speak. But I think those are going to change. You're seeing Powell's credit crunch relaxing a bit. He's already highlighted. Why do you give me the raised eyebrows? Powell's talking he's going to cut rates in 2024. If he cuts rates in 2024, credit card debt's going to alleviate.
Okay.
The interest on those credit cards is not going to be as bad.
Yeah.
The banks will be more willing to lend. People will spend more money. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All those reasons I'm excited. I've highlighted on this program already that I think more housing inventory is going to come on the market as rates drop. People are going to have more chance to buy. I think the real estate agents are going to have more options to sell and more items to sell. The real estate agents had a brutal 2023.
No doubt.
Get this. Real estate in Charlottesville, what? The 3rd, 4th, 5th most dominant driver of the economy in Central Virginia? Number 1's UVA, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 is what? Tourism and hospitality.
F&B.
3, well, maybe you say restaurants, food and beverage. 3, you could also throw in the government contracting. Government contracting is probably 2 now that I think about it, because they put that white paper report out that Letty Behan, the retired colonel, presented to the Elmore County Board of Supervisors. She's come on the show. I should reach out to Letty Behan again and get her on the program. Remind me to do that for the new year. She was amazing. Please remind me to do that. I'll get her back on the program. So let's say UVA is the number 1 driver of the economy. We'll say number 2, it's the government sector, the spies, all these alphabets that are in and around town. 3, tourism and hospitality. 4, probably real estate. But in 2023, that probably wasn't the case. If they have more stuff to sell in 2024, which I think they will, that's going to be a greater driver for the economy, another reason to be bullish. Do I think there's headwinds? Yes. Has anyone besides maybe this program truly emphasized or appreciated the significance of the population increase that's coming? I don't think so. That story continues to fly under the radar. If we get an additional 3 to 6, 7,000 people coming to the area in the next 4 or 5 years, that is going to cause a significant strain on infrastructure, and it's going to drive values of housing through the roof even higher.
Yeah, I mean, if it was just UVA and their steadily increasing roles, what do you call it? that itself, I think, would be an issue. But include in those numbers all of the all the people that will be coming for the Biotech Institute and other things like that. And
Kevin highlights the dramatic, the overwhelming expensive nature of rents in the area.
yeah, that's certainly worrisome.
I get it. We get it. He gets it. You get it. But if someone pays it, is it too expensive?
I think that's I don't want to swear, but I think that's a poor way of looking at it, not to mention phrasing it.
Talk to me. That's how it's done.
I mean, yeah.
It takes one.
I mean, but that's like saying we've got this life-saving drug and we would love to be able to give it to everyone, but all these people over here are willing to pay, $1,000 a pill. So, sorry to the rest of the people, but that's the market. I mean, I get it. In some cases, like if you're the head of a corporation, sometimes you have to make those decisions. But at the same time, you and I are empathetic people, and I think most of our viewers are as well. And at some point, you have to say, look, screw profits. I want to help someone, or I at least want to actively not screw people, right?
You're talking about a tough dynamic. We rent our properties below market. We rent our properties below market for empathy, but also to keep them full. We rarely have vacancies because they're priced below market. Others do not do that. They would rather have a vacancy or two to maximize rents. The property owner, Neil Williamson, has said this many times, has rights. And the property owner can do whatever he or she wants.
Yep.
And if it's their prerogative to do it, it's their prerogative to do it, isn't it?
100%. I'm not arguing against people being able to do that. I'm just saying you can look at things in the aggregate and say it's all good. I mean, that's the way the market works. But taken individually, I think we have to own up to the things that we do in life, and at some point, the way I see it is that my personal responsibility would be to err on the side of I don't know how to phrase this.
Charitable pricing.
I guess.
Charitable pricing.
But it's not charity though. Like nobody's losing money raising their rents, right? I mean, they're raising the rents more than they are paying extra in whatever taxes or whatever.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Not with the current tenant year over year. Maybe if the space goes vacant and they have to find a new tenant and a new lease, you could come in with that double-digit uptick. But a tenant that's in there for 1 year that stays the next year has got a lease that says you're looking at a 3 or 4% increase, a lease they sign.
Yeah,
and in some cases, the overhead has far exceeded a 3 or 4% increase.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I can speak from personal experience with a condo position in Albemarle County. HOAs get raised, taxes get raised, upkeep that landlord has to do increases. 4% increase doesn't necessarily keep up with that.
Okay.
But you're playing the long game. I'm not going to say that all landlords. There's many that are out there that are going to look to squeeze every single penny, to your point. But many are just trying to get by.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not digging on anyone. I'm not saying anyone's doing it the wrong way.
It's easy to vilify, and I'm not saying you are. I'm
I
not
know.
saying you are.
It's very easy to vilify.
But
I think
folks
we
do.
see that far too often, not just in Charlottesville, but
In general.
but everywhere.
Easy to vilify, right?
Yeah, it's easy to sit in your ivory tower and pretend that you would do everything the right way if you were in charge.
There you go. Monday morning quarterback, if you may. How do you think the impact of Natalie Oshrin on council is going to have? With Natalie Oshrin on council, do you have Natalie Oshrin's photo we can put on screen? I think you have it saved.
I think I do somewhere. Let's see.
You're going to have two relatively young city councilors on the dais. See if I can get her age. Am I able to say her age without disrespecting her? I know you're not supposed to say
Here it
a
is.
woman's age, but if she's a city councilor, can you say her age? Or no?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. Her
Am I allowed to say her
Her
age?
picture's on screen.
That's Natalie Oshrin's photo on screen. You're going to have a female on council.
A woman.
What's that?
A woman.
Isn't a female a woman?
More or less. We've gone over this.
What? I forget what we went over. You can't say female?
It's usually used in regards to like animals. Like
What? Keep going. I want to hear this out. I won't forget this again. Keep going, please.
I mean, it's not my argument really, but I see it online that a lot of people dismiss women by treating them like more like, I don't know, like cattle.
Calling a woman a female is equivalent to cattle association?
I mean, I wish I could explain it better.
Do we need to hear it explained better?
No, you don't need to.
No, I mean, I'm happy to use the word man and woman from here on out. The
Here's
words.
top of Google, female or woman. Essentially, female connotes a biological category, while woman is a whole human person. As a result, while woman technically is a noun, many are embracing its use as an adjective to achieve a more inclusive meaning that emphasizes gender over biological sex. I don't know that that's why
Then Google male.
male over man,
Yeah.
but who uses male,
People use male all the time.
such as?
The same people who use female.
Okay.
You've never heard someone refer to a man as a male?
Not usually.
So you're saying you hear
It
more
was a- it
folks
was a-
refer to a woman as a female than as a man as a male?
Yeah.
What's the male on Google? What's it say? Male versus man?
It's not the.
So there's nothing for that, of course. Is that what you're saying?
Let's see. Male is a biological descriptor. Man is a more complex word with a lot of social connotations relating to age, maturity, strength, authority, and sex. It's not from the same source as the other one.
Does any viewer and listener, have you heard of this? We'll get to John Blair's comment. John's photo back on screen, number 2 in the family. This goes back a long way, but the city was supposed to find a new home from the farmer's market. I believe that process started in 2015, 2016. The Market Plaza project fell through in 2018. The farmer's market remains in the same location in 2023. Great example of procrastination from John Blair, number 2 in the family. Great example. Why there's 2 farmers markets within walking distance of each other, within a 9-iron of each other. Literally a 9 or 8-iron, depending on the distance of your golf swing. I'm sure you're going to get a bounce with your Titleist on the asphalt in between Ix Park and Kindlewood. Is it Kindlewood now?
I think
Friendship
so.
Court is Kindlewood, right?
I believe so.
There's some cement and some asphalt for your Titleist to bounce. So I think someone could confidently hit a 9-iron. I'll call it an 8-iron. an 8-iron from the most southern point of the farmer's market at Market Street to the most northern point of the farmer's market at Ix. That distance, an 8-iron, if you get a nice kick on the asphalt with your Titleist. There's 2 of them. Why have we not aggregated them in one place to make the farmer's market better for everyone? Anyone have an answer?
Probably not. Otherwise, it would have been done.
Wouldn't you just put it at Ix?
I mean, maybe they're. I don't
mean,
know.
the only
I honestly
concern of
don't know.
putting it at Ix is this: is it's privately owned by Ludwig and Allen.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the city's only concern with moving the farmer's market to Ix, as you're moving it to a private developer's parcel, who can then utilize something run by the city potentially to create or to further reinforce or further strengthen or further beautify a for-profit endeavor. We know that Ludwig and Allen, whether it's them that do it or whoever they sell the parcel to, it's currently listed, it's been listed forever. Mm-hmm. A farmer's market would make a fantastic centerpiece for a live, work, play development. Apartments, condos, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. That's the hesitation from the city. Philip Dow watching the program. Philip Dow is one of the key members of our family. Philip Dow is... Where's Philip in the power rankings? I'm looking for you here, Philip. Philip is number 19 in the power poll. Get his photo on screen. There goes Kyle Miller. Kyle Miller Show. The Kyle Miller Show at 1 hour here on the I Love CVille show. We love Kyle Miller. Vanessa Parkhill says, OMG, feel free to refer to me as a female anytime. Gosh, get Vanessa Parkhill's photo back on screen. It's the first I've heard that I can't use female now. I'm being corrected by the metronome, the jack of all trades over here.
It's just male and female are basically adjectives, not nouns.
Keith Smith's daughter, youngest daughter, has got him not using the word but.
Not using the word but?
Jim Hingley says, Ix stays open in the winter when the city market is closed. That is very true. Ix has more of a year-round farmer's market to it. And remember the woman who's come on the I Love CVille show in the past? Was it Ua Har? I always mess up her name.
Yeah.
Ava Har?
Ava Har?
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
EWA?
EWA, yeah. I think it's Eva Har.
Eva Har?
Mm-hmm.
She has taken over as the executive director position of the Ix Art Park Foundation.
Nice.
And she is a force. She's an absolute force. So we'll see. The Ix Art Park has had a lot of turnover with its executive director position. Philip Dow says, don't forget Mead Avenue. That has the farmer's market on Wednesdays.
Yep.
That's a good one. Judah, you're in trouble with Philip Dow.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
With your female, male, woman, man.
I'm in trouble?
He's just giving you a hard time.
It's not my thing.
Carol Thorpe watching the program. Let's get Carol's photo on screen. Carol Thorpe is number 9 in the power ranking. The top 10 has come out today. I love it. She said, I have heard the distinction about the supposed preferential distinction between the terms woman and female for the reason Judah described. While I don't object to being called a female, I prefer being called a woman. Fair enough. I respect Carol Thorpe.
I don't necessarily think that most people using it as a term mean anything
I
bad,
certainly didn't mean it
bad.
derogatory.
No, of course not. But another way that they put it is female and male describe biological sex in humans, non-human animals, and other organisms. Females and males should be used only when the subject matter in question is solely biological sex. Whereas women and men should be used when referring to humans, where both biology and culture are concerned, such as women engineers and men engineers. If that makes more sense to anyone.
Ginny Who says, whatevs. You can call me female. Just don't call me birthing person. I look forward
Noted.
to your tweets. Judah says, noted. I just saw Karen Van Langren walk by, the former dean of the UVA Architecture School. She just walked by the studio. Karen, nice to see you walk by. I think she was wearing a nice mink coat. And Ginny Who says you can definitely say a public figure's age. Anybody can Google it. So this is the question I have for you. How is council going to look different? Act different, respond different, vote different, lead different, with a Michael Payne and a Natalie Oshrin on the dais, both under 40. I mean, I'd say if I had a roundabout, I'm going to Natalie's LinkedIn. You got Natalie's photo on screen? Did you already put it on screen?
I can put it on again.
She starts January 1. She's Keith Smith's pick for mayor. Your pick for mayor is Juan Diego Wade. My pick is Juan Diego Wade. Yours is Michael Payne.
Yeah.
We have a bottle of booze on it.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie's LinkedIn says she graduated undergrad UVA in 2011. If she graduated undergrad from UVA in 2011, that would put her at roughly 34, 35, right?
Sounds about right.
I believe Michael Payne is slightly lower than that in age. Let's see Michael Payne. I believe Michael's 31. September 23rd, 1992 is Michael. Let's see what Natalie Oshrin. Does she have a Civilpedia? I'm doing this on the fly. Age. Let's see if that comes. It says 34 on the interwebs. So you got Payne at 31, Oshrin at 34. How does council vote, act, lead differently with a 34-year-old and a 31-year-old on the dais? Natalie is an alpha with her personality. I think she's going to be. Her 4 years starts on the 1st of January, so in 10, 11 days, I think she's going to be vocal, active, engaged, and looking to make a statement out of the gates.
Yeah, I think she's going to push for action.
She's going to be the antithesis of
procrastination.
Procrastination, bingo. Natalie Oshrin. And she aligns with a lot of what Michael Payne stands for.
Yeah.
And we've seen Pinkston and Wade kind of meander to that side of the ideology fence. Mm-hmm. So where per year, the interim who replaced Sina McGill was more on the centered or straddling or more of the cautious side of the fence. So you have a council that's starting on the 1st of January that's going to be, how would you characterize?
Well, at least 2/5 of it is going to be pushing to, I think, get things done.
What kind of things?
Certain areas, definitely housing. They're both going to be pushing for housing and initiatives that push that, and maybe that.
Would you utilize the term radical? Is radical fair or no?
I don't think it's fair to say whether Natalie is going to be radical or not, and I don't think what we've seen from would you agree that what we've seen from Michael Payne hasn't been radical? You think it would? I'm not voting.
I would say radical is not the right word. Let's go to little thesaurus.com. What's in the family of radical without being too radical on the radical side? What's in the family of radical without being too radical on the radical side? Would you say it's, what are the synonyms? Extremists, leftists, progressive, probably progressive. Natalie is as progressive is the word I'm looking for, progressive. Natalie is as progressive as Michael, if not more progressive on certain things. And you got Pinkston and Wade, who've shown tendencies to vote progressive in circumstances. So you can make a legitimate argument that on the 1st of January, you have a more progressive unified voice on council than we have seen in a long time. We've had voices on council that have been activists. Activist is very different than progressive.
Sina McGill was progressive, certainly. I
think Sina was looking for her identity on council.
Okay, but she
ended her term early and perhaps never truly found it.
But even
and she had circumstances in her personal life, and I'm not going to get into her personal life for privacy purposes.
I'm not trying to call her out. I'm just saying
that kept her perhaps distracted from a full term on council.
But even if she had a full term, I wouldn't have imagined her.
I think Ms. Ostrin is going to be more progressive with her impact and her execution and her stick-to-itiveness than Sina McGill ever was.
Okay.
Not throwing shade at all.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have because you think about it, you got Payne, Natalie for 4 more years. You could have a gateway with Payne and Natalie on there. Snook also for 4 more years. Pinkston and Wade, their terms, what are they, 2 in?
I think so, yeah.
2 in. Depending on how the Pinkston-Wade re-up goes, you may have the most progressive council in Charlottesville history. Progressive, different than activists.
Yeah.
Different than activists.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that worked against the Micaiah Walker era was her pursuit of activism alienated so many people that little got done.
Yeah.
Payne's not pursuing activism. Natalie's not pursuing activism.
Right.
They're pursuing progressiveness. And progressiveness doesn't alienate, not to the clip of activism.
Especially not in a city that
like Charlottesville
actively elects those people.
There you go. Kevin Yancey says, imagine starting a new dining venue and before you turn the lights on, you're staring at $7,000 a month before payroll and inventory. I believe he's referring to Red Pump Kitchen, which has dropped to $7,000 a month. It has been vacant for a long period of time. I am actively involved in this this space of business with our clients and helping them grow their businesses through new spaces. And I will say that $7,000 a month, while it seems high, $7,000 a month is very much in the market or in the category of Class A spaces. There's many other places in the city of Charlottesville that are more expensive than $7,000 a month. Many other places. And the $7,000 a month on the downtown mall requires a lot less commitment than, say, some of these other places, perhaps Barracks, Stonefield, for example. I will highlight that. I will say I understand that $7,000 a month is a lot of money, but, there's more out there that are more expensive. I'll leave it at that.
Definitely.
All right, so what do you want to do on tomorrow's program? I would like to highlight some of the commentary. You got some props from the Earpies on the stories that you've been putting together for I Love Seville. What stood out from you as we close today's show of the holiday season? Where would you go? Where would you shop? Anything like that stood out with you in your research, your personal visits, your experiences with some of the content you've created on iloveseville.com. And I will highlight this. You've done a fantastic job highlighting local business, Judah. Judah Wickhauer has highlighted 11 local shops for Christmas shopping. You can find that on iloveseville.com. 11 local shops for Christmas shopping. 7 restaurants for Christmas Day, Christmas Eve dinner, and Christmas Day dinner. It's fantastic, Judah. Judah's done stories on 9 spots for photos with Santa. I believe you have a New Year's Eve story that's going to be out today.
It's out, yeah.
It's out now?
Yeah.
I don't see it on the website. You didn't publish that. Did that go out in the newsletter? Or was it the shops in the newsletter?
Shops is in the newsletter.
So you're going to get the New Year's Eve out in the newsletter?
New Year's Eve is up.
Where is it on the website?
Did you refresh your...
Browser?
Yeah.
Is it in the lead slot?
Not anymore.
Oh, I see it. You're right. I stand corrected. I had a cached website. 8 New Year's Eve events to attend around Charlottesville is up. Very nicely done, Judah.
Thank you.
What stood out to
What
you?
stood out to me is that a lot of places just aren't. They're not advertising. A lot of like, I'd love to. I'd love to highlight more places around Charlottesville, but there are so many places that don't have information. Like, go on to some of these, like Google Calendar type things that will show New Year's Eve events. And there are places that look like they might be doing something, but if you go to their website, there's not a peep. If you go to their Facebook page, there's, they haven't posted in 3 or 4 months. If you go to, they're missing out. There are people that are probably going to pass on or not even know that they're doing something. And it's disappointing to think that Charlottesville businesses in this time of great need are losing money, not to mention clientele or business that would gladly come and spend their money if they just had, some inkling that something was going on. And it was the same with, almost all the stuff, whether it was the Christmas, places to interact with Santa. It's like, okay, I know there's more than what I'm seeing, but not everybody is putting it out there. And what are you going to spend money bringing a Santa into your shop and then not do anything to let people know? Like, that seems like a good way to lose money, especially in a time of year when you should be making more money than you have the rest of the year.
Yeah, especially with Q1 coming up, which is very quiet and slow.
Yeah, it saddens me.
You should reach out to Judah. Viewers and listeners, reach out to the show, reach out to Judah. He'd love to highlight you on the website. He does a good job of it. We're trying to highlight local businesses on iloveseville.com. And Judah's leading that charge, and I think he's doing an excellent job. Keith Smith gets a reference from Carol Thorpe. She says, fellas, while Keith's prediction of Natalie's selection as mayor seems very unlikely, it is not without recent precedent. Nakia Walker was elected mayor in her first term.
Yeah.
Very, very well said. Very true, Carol Thorpe, Queen of Jack Jewett. I don't want to speak for Carol Thorpe. I do not want to speak for Carol, but I think she would be in agreement that when Nakia Walker was picked mayor, it was in unprecedented times in the shadows of August 12, 2017.
Yeah.
Judy McMullen, who had a pool hall, fantastic pool room before COVID, says, I would love to find a place for $7,000 a month that would work for my business. And she had that pre-COVID. Her pool hall on Preston Avenue. Bad timing with the launch of her pool hall with the pandemic. Charlottesville would love another Judy McMullen-led pool hall. She's very much a pool and billiards enthusiast.
Nice.
I wish you the best of luck with that. And Judy, I may be able to help you with finding a space. We should connect off air. John says this, Blair, love John Blair. He says, I'm neither bullish nor bearish, but here's a determinative factor. We are at one of those major sector inflection points in American commercial history. Are the local economic development departments going to work to land a major AI employer? Could be a huge tailwind for the local economy, but it would be a shame not to land one in 2024 as the competition for these types of employers become coveted. Great comment right there.
Yeah.
From John Blair. Tomorrow's show will be celebratory. It will be our last one of 2023 as we're taking next week off for R&R, for some travel and for some family time. Real Talk with Keith Smith tomorrow with Buddy the Elf, Chris Kringle, and Frosty the Snowman. And then the I Love Seville show to close with yours truly and Judah Wickower. Vanessa Parkhill said she heard on the radio the other day there was some sort of procedural issue with the approvals of the Verve, the Truist Bank project, and the new zoning. They will need to be readdressed in January. If that's the case, how does that affect with your bet with Keith? Vanessa is right. While the Verve and the Ivy project were basically approved, they will have to be officially approved in January. Still, those projects are moving forward as is. And Vanessa, my bet with Keith is tied to the approval of upzoning and not the Verve and the Ivy project. And upzoning was approved by council this week, so I owe Keith a bottle of rum. Carol says, agreed. I think it's a long shot, just that it's possible and not without precedent. 100%, Carol. 100% right. Your memory for history is second to none, Carol Thorpe. I will set something up with you, Judy McMullen, after the holidays for that concept. I have a couple options. Judah, I am grateful for you, and I'm excited for the close of the calendar year on the I Love Seville show tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Bravo and job well done, my friend. For Judah Wickower, my name is Jerry Miller, and this is the Thursday edition of the I Love Seville show. So long, and happy holidays. And we need to tighten these mics.
That one you don't have to worry about.
This one's loose too.
Yeah, but see that little knob on the top?
Yeah.
That'll
but
keep it. It's never going to fall out. Unlike
can we still
the
get it
rest of
tightened?
these.
I think it needs to be.